All right, so welcome back. Today we're gonna be talking wrist exercises. So before I show you the wrist exercises that fixed me, I'm gonna tell you why I believe in them so much. Because long ago, when I was younger, I had a desire to learn how to do a handstand. And so I did it, and I didn't have a coach, and no one told me how to warm up or do anything correctly. So of course I did everything wrong. And then I ended up getting a cyst in my wrist, and it really hurt. And so I couldn't put my hand flat on the floor, and I couldn't do a push-up, and I couldn't do a plank, and I couldn't do a lot of stuff, and it sucked, and I was in all this pain. So I went to the doctor, and I said, "Hey, doctor, can you please fix me?" And the doctor's like, "Of course I can fix you. I'm gonna take this needle, I'm gonna pop the cyst, and I'm gonna fill it with cortisone, and it's never gonna come back, and you're gonna be super cured." And I was like, "Oh, awesome, thank you." And so I went to the doctor, and I did this. And then I stayed off my wrist for a while, and once I was cleared by the doctor, it came right back. Because the cyst was a problem. It was a symptom, it wasn't the problem itself. And so I was like, man, what do I do? So then I ended up getting a coach, and I learned how to do proper wrist exercises, and I learned this routine, and it really helps me. So I'm gonna show you some stuff that really helped me, and hopefully it really helps you with your cyst, your wrist, and your handstand warm-up. So put this guy down over here. Cool. So here's what we got. First, paw the floor nice and open, get your hands nice and open, and index finger is basically straight forward, and we're going to rotate the armpit, elbow pit, this way, open and closed. Out and in, and out and in, and external rotation and internal rotation. And we're gonna do this about 10 repetitions. You could do a couple more repetitions, and especially if you already have an injury, consider doing more repetitions very lightly, because sometimes that will just kind of work better. You can also add a little bit of a lean to this, and you can do the same exercise. That also feels nice. All right. Then you're gonna get a little bit of a lean, some pressure through the fingertips, and you're gonna lean side to side, side to side, and side to side, trying to keep the elbows nice and straight. You can even protract a little bit through the shoulder, that'd be okay. Don't do this with like bent elbows, that's not gonna be as good. You actually want to pretty much stay externally rotated for this exercise too. Next, you're gonna point your fingers out. You're gonna go side to side. It's another way of going side to side. Check that out. Stretching your wrists. You'll stretch different parts of the wrist. Again, 10-ish. Fingers pointing back towards the knees. You're gonna drop your butt towards your heels. Butt to heels, butt to heels, butt to heels, butt to heels. And we'll do about 10 of these. Then we're gonna take our hand and we're gonna spin it the other way. So your fingers are facing your feet again. It just spun the wrong way, and you're gonna feel a nice big stretch through the pinky side of the arm. We have two that we can work on right here. We have elbow bendies. And depending on where you lean, it will feel very different, and you can always crank it more or crank it less. And that will feel very different. I like to just lean and lean. And sometimes it's nice just to push down on the hand to keep it where it's supposed to be. I tend to do these one at a time. Yeah, just like that. So, sometimes you need a little bit more space in the wrist. So this is a stretchy rubber band, and by space in the wrist, I mean sometimes like it's too gummed up, like there's like too much like inflammation, and it just hurts so much to do that. And I found that if I got a rubber band and put my hand through the rubber band, put it on this side. So I'm putting on my arm bones, and it's not on like the joint. So it's like not on the hand part, it's more on the distal end of the arm. And I'm gonna go whoop, and I'm gonna pin it to the floor. Take my other hand on top. Now I can relax. Now the band is pulling back this way and creating some distraction, some space in the wrist joint. Now my hand's on top. So any of the exercises I just showed you, you can actually redo with this band, and sometimes this was the only way that I could do the exercises because it just hurt so much. So this tended to open up some of that joint space and just made it feel way better. So I'd do the internal, external rotations or the pronations, supinations, and I could go side to sides. And then I could even go forward, backwards, all with the band. You know, turn to get different parts of the wrist. So if my fingers are facing away from me, and then I could turn and the fingers would be facing towards me. You might hear a lot of loud noises behind me. There's a gymnastics class going on. Don't worry about them, they're doing great. What? All right. So after that band, wow, I can really feel it. I can feel this side wants to really be open. I have a lot more range of motion, and this side is pretty open, but it's not quite as open. It doesn't want to go quite as much. So I really like that band trick. I think that's one of the best things that's probably not super talked about out there. So definitely try that out. Ooh. After all these, sometimes it's good just to shake out the hands. All right, so here's some more wrist stretches. So hands go on the floor, and now we're gonna peel the hand off the floor, trying to keep our fingers on the floor. And you can go as far as you can, and then you kind of run out of room. So now you have to bend the elbow. And then you can either try to keep this knuckle on the floor and try to bend the elbow to the floor, or sometimes I'll leave my fingertips on the floor, try not to lose one, and touch my elbow to the floor. And if you come straight down the middle, and you get these second and third fingers, it tends to be a little bit harder. If I kind of come off to the side, I can definitely look very impressive, but just a slightly different stretch. Whew. Mamma mia. All right, so getting all that stuff moving and grooving is gonna be nice. All right, some more stuff that I worked on, is going from this position to this position. So I would slowly lower myself down, creating a little bit of eccentric load, and then I would push up. So a little eccentric load and push up. It's like as if I'm trying to do a calf raise with the back of my hand. So now I'm trying to get a little stronger here. Woo. And so I'll do some of those guys. Another one that you could do is usually stretch the backs of the wrist similarly to the way that we just did the other ones. So pick a few directions that don't hurt too bad and try to get some range of motion through there. Radial, ulnar deviations. So roll them forward, roll them back. Roll them forward, roll them back. Roll them forward, roll them back. Every time you need a little break, take a little break, shake out the hands. You know, you see this one a lot online. This one's not so bad. You can do this. There's a little break in between or some preparatory work. Sometimes it's fun to change fingers and change directions and find out how weird that feels. A couple more things that I think would be nice is some heel lifts. So lifting the heel of the hand up and down just like this. You want to have your shoulders kind of on top. I like to lift my thumbs so they're not helping too much or at all. I want to lift those guys up and go up and down. And yeah, you can be in a tabletop position. You can get a little bit longer of a position, or if you wanted to, you could be in a full push-up position. And you could do these like that. All good, all good. Then again, shake them, get the blood flowing, and get the stuff out. So that's where I would start for wrist exercises. I'm gonna make one more video after this about the voodoo band, because that was also pretty helpful. And hopefully that will help you with your wrist cyst and or your wrist pain, or just like whatever wristy things you got going on in your life. That's kind of like a good shotgun approach that's gonna probably fix most of the wrist things going on in your life. So good luck with that. I'll see you on the other side. Comment if it works and comment if it doesn't work, and yeah, let me know. Bye.